Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome for joining again to What Is It, the Game Show? Something SCA. So at any rate, I am your announcer, Beorn of the Northern Sea. We have with us, of course, our fantastic host, Master Laertes McBride.
That'd be me. And who do we have on our panel this time?
We are very fortunate in that we have with us His Grace Duke Alexander Caidus from Caid. We also have joining us again, Condessa Batista.
Hey, can I just say I watched the last episode and I had so many comments on leech suckers and felting tools, which I think is Bridget's pet name for Laertes. So
how do you know?
And finally, we have joining us Master Oliver Dogberry, also from Caid.
Wow. Yeah, so this will be slightly different than our first show, I believe, with our answers, just looking at the panel. Thank you, Beorn. Thank you, panelists, for joining us. Thank you, Mons, for playing us in. Let's meet our contestants that we have. So it looks like we have two different kingdoms represented. So Skald, say hello.
Hello.
So where are you joining us from?
I am joining you from the great barony of Mergenwood in the kingdom of Avacal.
Oh, Avacal.
I am more north of Karina. Karina thinks she's north. I'm more north.
So okay, what are you close to up against, other than a moose? What are you close to?
Moose, lots of moose, pronghorns. Probably the barony of Borealis is the closest barony. It's only about 6 hours drive to the west. And the next closest would be barony of Montengard, which is where Karina is, which is about 7.5 hours away.
For the sake of the less educated people watching, I know where that's at. But let's say what the real name of those places.
Oh, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Oh, Saskatchewan. Isn't that where the Bigfoot lives?
No, that's in British Columbia.
Oh, okay.
different in an inaccessible wilderness.
It's either that or Bakersfield.
Yeah.
So let's see who you're up against this evening. Oh, look, it's Her Excellency Nezhka. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. And where are you joining us from?
I'm in the barony of Ravens Cove in Atlantia, which is the coast, quite literally, of North Carolina.
Oh, it's pretty there. I've been there, actually. So, yeah. So it's kind of late for you. Appreciate you staying up with us.
Yes, I'm excited.
Alrighty, so just a quick recap before we get this started. What we do in this, we're going to show you a series of photos, 4 rounds. Our panelists here are going to describe what they think that item is. And each of you as the contestants will start with 100 points. And each round you can wager up to half of your points and determine who is correct. If you select the correct panelist, you win those points. And if you don't, you lose them. But each round, the odds get higher. So even if you get behind early on, you have an opportunity to catch up at the end. I think that's pretty much the rules. So, you know what? Let's see that first item. Okay. So Your Grace Alexander, hello.
Good evening. Thanks for making this at night on a Friday. Awesome.
Like it stopped you from drinking. I mean, Your Grace, it's good to see you.
It didn't.
So you have managed to have the longest reign in Caid, is that correct?
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Lord, for letting me step down. Thank you.
But I do want to take the opportunity to say it was amazing, the work and effort of reaching out and keeping the kingdom informed during that whole time. And that's probably the last nice thing I'll say tonight.
Kingdom, so that's the easy part.
So, Your Grace, what is this thing?
So before I came on tonight, I knew who was running this show. I knew the two of you were running this show. So I went and looked up all the weird stuff I could find for the medieval period. This, easy. It's a baby gauge. Stay with me, folks. I know what I'm talking about. If you look at it, there's a little hole at the bottom, right? And it's a ridiculous instrument used by the medical people of that time, because as we know, robust hips were the thing back then for ladies to have. So what would happen? They would send out somebody to check a potential wedding type, woman, and they would put this on her belly button, And then they would move that slide down to see exactly how wide her hips were to see if she could have a baby with those birthing hips. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Only been drinking for like an hour.
So I would say birthing hip gauge.
Baby gauge.
Baby gauge.
Baby gauge.
Available at Babies R Us.
Baby.
And you know, I have to follow up that description with our returning panel member, Countess Batista. It's good to see you again, Batista.
Thank you. You know, I have to say that explains a lot of first dates I had.
So what do you think this is?
Oh, well, along the same lines, although that's a weird thing to do. What I know this to be is it's actually a tailoring tool. And it kind of goes along with what you just said in a way. The tailoring tool is actually used to check the diameter and the girth of your codpiece. And I like saying the word girth. I don't know why.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's a tailoring tool. It's not a hip measuring.
Okay, so this is, in case you're wondering, yes, we are now out of prime time and in the later part of the show.
Oh, does that make a difference? Because I think I said girth in the first show too.
True, well, better than length. And look, Master Oliver's calling us from his crypt. How are you, Master Oliver?
Doing well. This has been an entertaining and interesting and educational show so far.
Great. Well, we're about to change it. What do you think it is?
So I know what this is. It actually has military applications. It's an engineering tool. It would allow gunners with cannon to be able to change the angle. They could look to the eyepiece and gauge the height of a cannon to determine exactly where to drop into. It also allowed military engineers to build, take measurements and build fortifications. You could get any angle you wanted off that from a 90 to a 45-degree angle. There's a lot of practical warfare issues that this thing could have. It was even shaped like a weapon. If you fold those down, you notice it has a handle, close the eyepiece up, it would fit into a scabbard like a sword would. And so the engineer would carry it around in a scabbard.
Nice. Okay, so we have been told it is a baby gauge, or it could be measuring the girth for a codpiece, or a military measurement device. So let's see what our contestants think. Hey, Skald, what do you think it is? Which one do you think is right?
Well, I have watched this show before, and I know that Batista cannot be trusted in these matters. So that's just throws that right out there.
Hey, I'm sorry. When it comes to penis size, I can be trusted.
I've heard rumors, not engaging gossip here. I've heard stuff. And
show.
Alexander, I appreciate what you said. Impractical. So sort of just by process of elimination, we have to go with it's involved in gunnery, because that was just the best description.
So how much are you willing to wager on that of your 100 points?
I'll wager 30.
30 points.
Reasonably confident.
So he's over halfway sure that Oliver is correct, which that's pretty much true for us all the time. Your Excellency Nezhka, who do you think is correct?
Ooh, I'm actually fairly certain it does not have military applications. So I'm going to go with His Grace.
Wow. And how much are you willing to bet on that?
25.
25 points. All right. So, Beorn, what is it?
This device was carried in the scabbard of a military surveyor for elevations of cannons, and it's called a Radino Latino.
All right. All right. So, Skald, you get 30 points, and yeah, we won't talk about the losing 25 points, but we're fine. We're fine. It's early on. This next round we're 2 for 1, and I'm sure the answers are going to get much more tame. Hey, what do we have for the next round? All right. So, Countess Batista, would you like to describe what this is?
I feel like I just got a warning. I'm going to describe what it is. I'm sorry if it's not tame, but this is what it is. So
I see what it is.
It is what it is, dude. So basically, this is a tool that they used to use to alter the shape of a baby's head. So basically, it was more desirable during the olden days for royalty to have a taller, thinner head, like a more pointier head. I'm not talking like Bert or Ernie or anything, but just a pointier head was a more desirable trait. And so when the baby was born, their skull bones are still very soft. So basically what they would do is they would put this tool on a newborn baby. It's got an adjustable thing on the back where they can tighten the turn key on it. And it would stay on the baby for a couple of weeks until the cranium or the skull bone hardened into the shape that they basically wanted. And so that's what it is. It's basically a tool to alter the shape of a baby's head to make royalties more desirable.
Right.
So.
I was watching Alexander checking the shape of his head while you were talking. That was awesome.
Well, you can see he has the perfect royal head. It's very pointed.
You know, that
was a
head,
very
almost.
desirable trait.
that's not the first time he's heard that phrase.
Yeah, well, I didn't pull out the codpiece measurer, so.
So, Master Oliver, follow that up. What do you think it is?
Following her is always difficult. Yes, this is actually a medical tool back in the day. It was used to remove tonsils. What you'd do, you'd hold on to the handle below, you'd pull on the ring. What the ring would do is hard to see in there, but there are silver metal slides that would slide back out of the yellow sheaths and it'd open up. You could just see the circle down there and you'd put it in the mouth. You'd put those circles areas around where the tonsils would be. You could get both of them at the exact same time. You pull it out, you get the tonsils through there and you slice it forward like a guillotine. And then the tonsils would be dinner for the person. Probably the last one for a while. They needed ice cream after that. But it's a tonsil remover.
I'm all grossed out now.
I still have my tonsils.
Hey, you said prime time. We're past.
Speaking of grossed out, Your Grace, what do you think it is?
Embarrassed to say I know what this is. I do. I actually know what this is. Sadly, that right there is a sheath holder.
What?
Not a sheath holder.
Okay.
Not the kind you use for your sword, but as anyone will tell you who knows anything about horses and bulls, you have to clean their sheaths. And that little device right there with this little handle, when you pull the sheath back, how am I going to demonstrate this without going into R rating tonight? Let me try this.
It's fine. It's
And
like
I
that.
Pull the sheath back.
I already demonstrated a dental tool, so go for it.
Pull the sheath back, clamp it down. That would hold it there. You'll see a little thing that you tighten it. It holds the sheath back so that you can clean the
A
resin.
wiener.
Thank you. Yes, that.
Hey, I'm just kidding. It's late night. You can say what you want right now. Hey, we'll go to Mons in a minute. So, let's see. Your Excellency, Nezhka. Well, who do you think is correct?
Oh my God, I'm hoping none of them. Let's see.
A lot of removed body parts right there.
I know, right?
I could recap if you'd like.
Go for it, because I'm still a little.
All right,
like,
so it's
wow.
either a baby head shaper to get you like a royally shaped head. It is a tonsil remover, or it's a horse or bull penis sheath holder. There we go. Thank you.
I probably shouldn't mention this. I grew up on a farm, so I'm debating.
Did you grow up with a flat head?
This is true. This is true. You know what? I'm gonna wager 25 points on Batista. Just, it's always a good bet, right?
I mean, yes. Okay, and Skald, who do you think is correct?
Well, I thought Master Oliver was very wise in things like this, and I kind of was leaning that direction. But then His Grace wowed me with his prose, with his knowledge of sheep sheaths and the extraction of said things. So just because I'm overawed, I have to go with His Grace Alexander.
And how many points?
in the sheath. Bring
in the sheet. I'll wager 30 points again. I'll be consistent here.
I thought you
okay.
were saying sheep, and I kept hearing you're pulling a bull into a sheep, and I didn't understand that at all.
But so it's hybrid farming, you know.
So,
It's like
so
turducken.
Mons,
It's like a
Mons,
turducken.
Mons,
Yeah.
who would you put money on?
Me?
Yeah.
I think this is related to the previous item. I think it's for extracting your codpiece from a cannon.
That's nice. That's
With,
nice.
with a leech sucker or not?
Just grab onto it and pull. Yeah.
Although, no, that's what Alexander was talking about. Anyway, Beorn, what is it?
Well, this double guillotine device was designed to remove tonsils. It's a
Oh my
tonsil
gosh.
guillotine.
So our panel fooled both our contestants.
Although I will say that I like the idea of keeping baby heads inside some grips. So just saying.
And I don't blame you. When I think of experts in grabbing sheaths, anyway. Let's see. Right now the score is, like it matters. Nezhka, you have 50 points and Skald has 100. And this time, if you're successfully in identifying who is talking correctly, it's worth triple points. So no one is out of this game. Speaking of which, what is our next item? Oh, okay. Well, your Grace Alexander, what is this thing?
Why you gotta go to me first now? I'm not ready.
Okay,
Again, because I'm with the greatest, showman on earth who set me up for this, I'm gonna say it's a hemorrhoid remover. Don't. I'm serious. If you wrap that little chain there and you tighten it around, that's what the little knobs are for. See, pay attention. The knobs are to tighten it down around the hemorrhoid, which would cut off the circulation, and it would, just fall off. Hemorrhoid remover. There you go.
I want to know what your hemorrhoids look like, dude. You have obviously been sitting on that throne for way too long.
A giant hemorrhoid with a chain
He
around
made
it.
this game show Friday night.
So Countess Batista, you got to follow that.
I'm not following his hemorrhoids.
They
They have their own Facebook page, and I ain't following them.
What do you think this is?
Wipe left.
Okay, so it's hard to tell from the picture because the item is actually much bigger in real life. You know what that's like, right? Anyways, so the rope that's at the back is actually a really long rope. And what it does is on a carriage with horses, you have a train of horses in the front. You have the bar that goes between the two front horses. So the rope actually attaches to a circlet. What?
Stuff is
Who's talking? Somebody stop talking.
Rowan.
So it actually, the rope goes onto the little circlet between the two horses, and then it pulls back and it attaches to another device that's at the front of the carriage. And it's basically kind of like the predecessor to the steering wheel. So what you would do is if you wanted the train of horses to go right, you would turn the wheel and the rope would pull the bar that's between the horses that direction, and the horses would go that direction. And then obviously the other direction will pull the horses the other way. So it's actually much bigger than it looks in the picture, but it's, like I said, it's kind of like a not a stagecoach, but a horseless carriage, because that would be a car. It's a carriage with a horse.
Horse carriage.
Yes, thank you. I know what I'm trying to say. And it's like a steering wheel for horses.
Nice. And Master Oliver, what do you have?
Nothing so interesting. Basically, this is a ship helmsman training wheel. This was used to train helmsmen before allowing them to actually practice on a real ship. What you would do is the wheel that you see there, this only has 3 spokes. Some of them had a lot more as you go up. It's attached to the rope, and which limits how many turns they could do, as well as increasing the pressure and difficulty as you get it to tighten. You've seen people with 3 people trying to churn that ship's wheel in a storm. So it builds up, it helps increase the muscle strength as they fought the wheel while tighten it. So this gives them a chance to know how many turns the wheel will go around before the rudder would reach the end. And so it would limit it like you would on a real ship. It's a training.
A wide variety of answers this round, I will say. So let's do a quick recap. It's either a training device for a shipment.
It's a seaman.
For seamen, yes.
Yes, it's a training device for seamen.
Yes. Or it's a steering wheel for a carriage with horses, or it's a hemorrhoid remover. Let's go to the panel. Your Excellency, Nezhka, you are behind. So who do you think is correct?
I'm going to go with Oliver on this one. I think it's the ship training wheel. And how much do I have left?
You have 50 points, and points are tripled if you're correct. And there's one more round.
I want to wager 40.
40 points. Oh, bold move on Oliver. And Skald, who do you think is correct?
I'm not a doctor, and I doubt his grace is too. So I'm pretty sure that's not for hemorrhoids, or you need to see a real doctor. I'm sorry, Your Grace. I am just going to go with Batista. Looks like someone could be on a carriage. Yeah, I think that's where I'm going to have to go here again. Sorry, Master Oliver. I don't think that looks like it would be working for ship's training, but again, I'm not a seaman.
Yeah, he's saying no to the seaman.
Yeah, no to seaman.
So how many points? And Your Excellency, I forgot, you can only do up to half, so you can only bet 25. So I adjusted your score. And Skald, how many you want to bet?
Oh, 25.
25? Okay. So Beorn, what is it?
The device is called an écraseur, and it is placed at the base of a growth, and you cut off the blood supply and allow the hemorrhoid to drop off on its own.
Okay, his grace is a doctor. Holy.
Oh, he's
That's
just
disturbing on
knows
many
about-
levels there.
If you
No,
want to
he's
know
not a
about,
doctor. He just has giant hemorrhoids.
if you want to know about sheaths or hemorrhoids, his grace is the man.
I would have thought it was
And
referring
yes, you know,
tapeworms,
I've got
honestly.
some
But
knowledge on it.
Now, if you had a sheep with hemorrhoids, he's the guy to go to.
all I can say is your grace is bottoms up.
All right, so we're going into the final round. Hey, Mons, what do you think of this game so far? This episode.
Sorry, what's that?
What do you think of this episode so
He hasn't been watching.
This is brilliant.
far?
This is gold. It's magnificent.
Wow, I must have paid him
say
too
that.
much. Okay, so we're going to the final round. It's 5 for 1. And again, it's not an object this time, it's a piece of art.
I'd like to bet 50 points that Mons is lying.
I'll bet 50 that
Yeah,
Bjorn knows
that
what it
wasn't
is.
me.
So let's go ahead and put the piece of artwork up. Okay, so we have this artwork, and we're going to start with Oliver. Oliver, what do you think this is called?
Okay, so this is actually a relatively famous drawing here. This is known as the Green Man Bounty. You normally see a green man with leaves and trees and such. This is a harvest green man. Everything on here is fruits and vegetables and grain. So it's Green Man Bounty.
Green Man Bounty. Sounds like a 90s band. Alexander, what is this called?
Unfortunately, you can't see up close to this. I've actually seen this particular piece of art in person. It was done by Giuseppe de Borgia. If you look at it there, you'll notice all the fruits, vegetables, everything that you could ever want about that. See, de Borgia was unfortunately very unlucky when it came to women. And he was showing how, in this particular picture, how he had everything a woman could want. But the thing you can't really see in that picture, but if you look closely, you might be able to get it. There's an artichoke actually coming from his chest. And that was to show, because it was prickly and thorny, that he had had his heart broken so many times. And it is actually a Latin phrase, and it is called the Morte Amore. That is the name of that picture, the Morte Amore.
Yeah, and I agree. You can kind of just see it right at the base
Right
of
there
that.
in the little corner.
Yep.
There.
All right, so Batista, well, what do you think it's called?
I'm pretty sure that the chin is the same as Alexander's hemorrhoids. So I'm pretty sure that needs to be removed right there. And if I'm correct on that, go see a doctor.
Okay.
So anyways, this is called Summer.
Mhm.
If you look at the fruits and vegetables, they're all very seasonal. It's a series of paintings that was done with different seasonal vegetables and fruits. So like you have zucchini season, like who doesn't like a good zucchini? You have orange and citrus season, and you have kumquat season, because that's just fun to say. and you have like all the different seasons, and then they use them all to make a portrait. So you have basically summer, winter, fall, spring, which is my last name, spring. So you have all the seasons, and this one is the summer season without the sausage. That would be a summer sausage, just in case. So summer's my answer, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, thanks. So we have three choices: Green Man Bounty, Morte Amore, or Summer. Let's see, Skald, you're in the lead, so you get to bet first. You have to bet at least half of your score of 75 points, and it is a 5-to-1.
At least half. So let's just do exactly half, which would be
37.5.
37.5. Yeah.
5 is going to make a huge difference.
It's going to make a
Let him
difference.
round up. Let him round up.
Like I'm going to do it in my head anyway.
I will spot you half a point.
You'll spot me half a point?
I will.
No, I'm doing it. I already figured it out.
It's happened. Okay. All right. I hate to go against his grace again, but I just can't see that. I also cannot believe Batista on that one. I have to go back to Master Oliver because that looks like a Green Man's Bounty. I when I first saw it, I thought Green Man. So
you didn't think hemorrhoids? Because
I did not think hemorrhoids, and I thought that was a pair of praying hands there. I don't think that's an artichoke, and or it was a really bad phallus.
With Green Man, well, with the hemorrhoid, it'd be Red Man's Bounty.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I think I'm losing control of the show. Your Excellency. You can 25 and above. You can do 100%. You have 25 points. It's 5 times your score. Who do you think is correct?
You know, I'm either going to go out with absolutely nothing, or I'm going to get all of it back. So just wager the whole damn lot. And let's go with Master Oliver. I'm going to follow suit here.
Master Oliver, you believe it's Green Man Bounty. Hey, Mons, who do you think they're right? Do you think it's Green Man Bounty?
I think Batista's a little more on par here with the whole kumquat thing. You know, that's what you say when you want your quat to come.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, my quad hasn't seen a zucchini in years.
Wow.
Wait, what are we talking about? I'm sorry.
We're talking about the farmer's market. So,
Thank God my
Bjorn,
boyfriend's not watching.
Bjorn, please save us from this. What is it?
Gherkin.
This is part of a set of paintings produced in 1563, 1572, and 1573 by the great Giuseppe Arcimboldo, and it is called Summer.
Summer. It is. So, Your Excellency, you end up with nada. And Skald, you have 37.5 points. You are our winner for the evening.
He has 38. I spotted him half a point.
That's true. So, oh my gosh, what a fun time tonight. Thank you everyone for joining us. I learned a lot about kumquats and
hemorrhoids.
And hemorrhoids.
Way too
hemorrhoids.
much about hemorrhoids.
And
I
Alexander.
just want to take the opportunity to thank everyone that's been involved in all 3 shows, everyone behind the scenes, Rowan, Mons, of course, my good friend Beorn, everyone at Bardic War that gave us this opportunity and came with us with this idea. And if you're watching still, why? But also, be sure to join Beorn and I every Monday night on the Live from Caid Facebook or YouTube channel. We have songs, we have humor, we have talks. We have a good show for everyone that's interested in the SCA with a lot of fun people that you saw here tonight. So I'm going to step out. I want to say thank you to everyone, and Beorn and Mons, over to you.
Thank you, Laertes. Thank you, Beorn.
Thank you.
It's been great. It's been fun. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on What Is It, the Game Show. Thanks to our contestants and panelists. And Sir Mons, please play us out.